Hello, everyone. This is going to be my Talladega race review, and I will definitely say this is probably the best we've ever seen the next gen's plate race, but that honestly isn't saying too much. How the package has been. Early stages of this race, I was concerned that it was going to be the exact same dance as we seen at Daytona, Atlanta, and Dega last year of a two-lane parking lot where you couldn't really do anything, but I'm happy to say we saw life. There was hope for the third lane today. Um, but we'll get into that if I actually think that the third lane showing up today really means anything. I mean, early in the race, it's kind of been what we all expected. It would be just the 2 lane parking lot, and one lane would get like a car length or two ahead, and then the other one would come back, and they would be side by side for a bit, and not really much change in the running order. And that's been the biggest problem and the biggest criticism of the package. Of You've turned plate racing into track position racing, where it's really hard to get your track position, and that was a big part of today's race was track position. Generally, you didn't really see people drive through the field today. Early in the race, though, we had the Michael McDowell caution. It was weird. He had a flat tire or something, broke the toe link. His day was pretty much done from that point because of the lack of cautions. And how the cautions fell, he could never get his laps back. So that's how his race went. He got like 35th or something. Not entirely sure. I don't actually have the results in front of me. I'm going to fix that. Yeah, he broke his toe link and he was like 7 laps down or something by the end of the race, just because he was trying to use wave rounds and stuff. But in the mid 30s is when people started pitting. The first group of people to start the pit were the Toyotas, and that went horrific when Tyler Reddick completely messed it up, creamed the inside wall, and slowed all the Toyotas up. And Reddick had massive right front damage and front end damage the entire race. But he actually ended up getting a decent finish out of it, just because of plate racing and next gen cars being pretty much tanks besides the toe link. And then a few laps later, a mix of the Fords and the Chevys came in, and then Briscoe spun, entering the pits. But something happened where his right front tire got locked up, or like it wouldn't move. We've seen this before with flat tires on the next gen car, where you get stuck and can't do anything. And Briscoe was doing burnouts in the pit lane because he was trying to get going, but he was literally just stuck doing 360s. But the big issue there was that he was stuck in the middle of pit road, and that made it so a caution had to come out, and then there were some cars that didn't that were still out there and got kind of screwed on the track position game. As an Eric Jones fan, he was one of them, and I pretty much admired him in the back for the rest of the day, because this is so track position dependent and stuff, and it's just so hard to get through the field. Came around, Chase Elliott won stage 1 due to how the caution fell. There was a lot of shuffling during the pit stops due to the fuel only tires, yada yada yada. And stage 2 is when we actually saw life out of the third lane. Eric Jones started it, and he had help, and they were making moves, and then Bubba Wallace moved up, and Eric Jones shoved him all the way to the lead, and Bubba actually got out of the top lane. And then basically as soon as that happened, the outside died. It was like 2 laps, it was gone. Completely gone, dissipated. And that was kind of the story of the third lane. It was it happened a few times, especially in stage 3, when people like, oh, we're stuck in the back in 25th because you can't do anything in this package. They try to make the outside lane work, and they would get close to even with the lead, but it's like all of a sudden, if it loses any energy, the lane's done. It's gone in 2 laps. You got to restart the entire process again. I know there's gonna be people that say, "Oh, the third lane's back. Look, there were 3 wide. They did it." No, it wasn't back. Was it there? Yes, it was there. But is it viable? No, it is not. It's only viable under extreme circumstances. And you saw, no, it was never the preferred lane. Bottom seemed to be actually the preferred lane today, but middle was just as good at times. But that third lane was never truly the viable lane. And like when we were on the the last Gen 6 package with the giant spoilers and stuff, the runs were everywhere. Every lane was super viable. everything was viable, but this not necessarily that viable. Um, there's still a lot to work to do on this package. We need to take drag out of these cars. We got to make it so the outs. We got to make it so it's not a parking lot, essentially, right? Because this is 2 lanes, and you're just kind of just riding and hoping people make bad choices with lane changes so you can move forward. And that's kind of the story of what the package is. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done with it. This was the best we've seen it, but it's just not where it needs to be still. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and I hope we can see that in the near future. Near the end of stage 2, Joey Logano did a move to save his race. When he was about to get lapped, he just stuck it in the middle and let everyone go around him, and he was able to get the lucky dog at the end of stage 2 with that Eric Almirola one on a last second pass. That was that. Start of stage 3, obviously with all the strategies and stuff, the grid gets shuffled. Basically, it was Harrison Burton and Noah Gragson on the bottom, and Bubba Wallace and Blaney on the top. And then Gragson must have gave a bad push to Burton, spun Burton out, and that took out a few cars on the back when they were all checking up. Austin Dillon and Zane Smith, I think, were the 2 that actually ended up out of the race. But very unfortunate for Harrison, who was having a really good run up to that point. And that was that. And then last 25 laps, the 3rd lane kept trying to get formed up, but it just truly never really, it just never could get a good grasp on the field. And eventually Joey moved up that one time, and then he got turned, took out LaJoy, Logano, and a few other cars, Stenhouse, I believe. And then that's when you kind of knew, like, oh, here we go. And this is when the fuel mileage started coming into play because the overtimes and people were starting to run out, and then all that crazy stuff. But yeah, in the first overtime, Noah got a huge jump on the field, and he slid up just a bit. Ross Chastain went straight for the middle, and Noah tried to block the unblockable and wrecked himself. And then there was the huge, massive hit with Priest and Larson when Priest T-boned Larson there, and with that massive hit. Thankfully, everyone was okay in that crash, to our knowledge. And yeah, the Larson thing where it looks like the door like basically collapsed in on itself or something. It looked really weird. I don't want to make too many assumptions of what happened. I think we just let the NASCAR do their thing and look at the car. And then the last restart, Ty Gibbs ran out of gas right off the bat, and then there was other people running out of gas. So Kyle Busch got to the lead early there, and then Kyle Busch was leading all the way through 3 and 4 and stuff. And then in 3 and 4, Eric Almirola must have had a flat tire or something. He slowed up a lot. The finish of this race is just it's disappointing because it's so predictable that dumb blocks get thrown. Bubba makes a move to get past Kyle. Blaney shoves him, and then Bubba's trying to block Blaney from making a move, and we just go and wreck another few more cars and stuff and all that good jazz. I seriously wonder when the drivers will learn that blocking actually ruins your chances of winning a race. Like, please tell me how many times blocking at the end of the race actually won the driver the race. Compared, if they didn't block, they would have done much better or not wreck or even win the race. There's quite a few a lot of the time, I feel like if you don't do anything, like don't block, you're gonna win. I think that might be an interesting video to do in the future, with blocking at super speedways. But Kyle Busch wins the race under caution. He played it right. He didn't do stupid blocks, and he got rewarded for not doing stupid stuff. So yeah, Kyle Busch won. Blaney second. Cindric got third. I actually, the order is my bet on that. The actual order is Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher third, Briscoe fourth, Brad Keselowski fifth, Eric Jones got sixth, Byron was seventh, Christopher Bell was eighth, Suarez ninth, Todd Gilliland with another top 10. I hope that's right. I know they were changing the order. That's what I see at this point. But yeah, happy for my favorite driver, Eric Jones, to finally get a good finish. just to get a finish because he needed that. But yeah, this was better. I still don't really think the outside lane is viable. The third lane is not viable. Does it exist? Kind of. It does. It can happen, but I don't really feel like it was doing much of anything, and it just takes too much work for it to make it work. So it was better. This race was better. It wasn't great. Stupid blocks ruined the ending again. What a surprise. One day maybe the drivers learn that blocking is not the answer. But that is what it is. Overall, the race was okay. Like a 6.5 out of 10. Like it was okay. That's the same problems you see with every plate race right now. So hopefully they make a way to make the outside lane truly viable and make it so it's not so track position heavy and not such a parking lot. So this review you can probably like copy and paste of all the plate races we'll have this year. Of it was all right, I guess. Please don't be a parking lot, but that is what it is. Next week is Dover. I really don't have high expectations due to dirty air problems, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this race review, and I will catch you guys in the next one. If you did like it, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. That helps me out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.